Hey guys, today I'm going to try to do a little narration on how I set my traps. We just got a coyote in this spot, a hole right there, so right now I'm just gathering up my stuff, my bucket, nailing pad. Notice my trap in the foreground there, and I've just gone over to the bike to get the rest of the stuff. My bucket of dry dirt, which is peat moss and anthill material. Right here I'm going to change my trap out. I change all my traps every time I catch something. I've got enough traps so I can do that. It doesn't really matter. So I mean, the traps are the ground anyway, so why take the chance? So I change them all. Some people reset the trap. Well, if you reset the trap, it's usually you're staked in the ground right there, and your coyote is in the same spot where your trap bit is. So mine's different. Mine's all on drag, so the coyote drags everything away from the trap site, so there's no contamination. So if I were to put that trap back in the ground, the only place that's going to smell like coyotes in that trap. So I change them all. And just walking over to the bike to get a new trap. You'll notice there, while we're waiting, you'll notice there I've got two sifters. I like the two sifters instead of one. You can put all your dirt, especially where I do put all my drags down the ground. There's a lot of dirt, so I find it a lot easier with two sifters, especially when you're making new holes. But to rebid the traps and that type of thing after they've already been done, you don't really have to sift the dirt because they've already been sifted. But it's easier. It keeps the site cleaner. You don't have to have as much dirt around the area. It's all in the sifters. So anyway, I should be back here in a second with a new trap. Here I am, and got ourselves a new trap. They are Bridger number 3 offset 4 coil. Here in Nova Scotia, all you have to do is to have them either they got to be modified some way, either soft jaws, or they got to be offset, or laminated jaws, or whatever. I mean, you only have to have the one type of modification just to make it easier on the animal's legs, so they don't get damaged until you get there. So anyway, I use all quick links between my chains and the swivel on the trap itself. So here I am just digging out the dirt for the anchor and the chain. So it usually takes about two sifters full of dirt to bit a trap, the way I do it anyway. And the hole is probably 6 to 7 inches deep. All depends on, sometimes you run into a rock and you might not be able to go as deep, but I try to get them to 6 to 7 inches so you have plenty of room to put your drag and your chain. And try to smoothen it a little bit so it's not bunched up so much. And set the trap to a side, and the first sifter of dirt goes right in the hole. And I'm going to get that packed in as tight as we can. And we'll dump most of the dirt from the second sifter in. You always never seem to have enough dirt. Every time you go to redo a trap, you never get enough dirt back out of the hole to reset the trap. So anyway, just digging a little hole there so to set the swivel and the trap chain in itself. And I usually set mine so the trigger, the dog, is away from me and it's pointing towards the dirt hole. You notice the dirt hole there, almost right by my hand right now. There's a dirt hole there. And I just clean some stuff out around the trap itself. It takes me about 10 minutes, 15 minutes to reset a trap. And right here I'm just kind of smoothing out the dirt, trying to get it packed in there around them jaws good and tight so nothing's moving. And that the ground is around the trap is just a little teeny bit higher than what the jar is, especially on the front. And I take my time. I want to do it right, so at least the way I'm doing it anyway. And I use a trap capper or a pan capper, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, trap capper I guess. Here's my dry dirt. Like I said, it was half peat moss, half anthill material. Some of it's a small gravel and all kinds of stuff that the ants carry around. So anyway, I just put enough in there just to cover over the trap. Don't need a lot right yet. And over top of that, I'll sift some dirt. Like I say, you never have enough. Usually, never have enough dirt when you go to reset. So anyway, what I'm going to do right now is just going over to pick up some or get some more dry dirt. I usually get that either under a rock or under a stump or something like that. Usually the ground's drier than what it is on the top of the ground somewhere else. So anyway, I shouldn't be too much longer. And that trap capper, I mean, I don't see a lot of people using those, but I like to use them. When I go to pack that dirt in, you'll notice it in a minute, but when I go to pack that dirt in, and when I'm done, the only soft dirt, the only place where it's going to be soft is right on top of the pan. Everything else around that trap is going to be solid. So when a coyote comes in, if he's walking around that trap, it's solid ground unless he steps on the pan, and by that time it's going to be a little bit too late. Most of the catches I have are high power catches, so seem to work good. Anyway, I've been at this for a while, so every year I try something a little different and that type of thing. So anyway, I just sift enough dirt over the top just to cover the trap pretty good. Not a whole lot, but probably a quarter inch of material over top of the trap, and I'll just brush it around that trap, smoothing it out, and I'll pack that in real tight. And if you get used to it, you know you're not going to set that trap off. Right there, I'm taking my thumb, going around the edge of the trap capper, and pressing that down tight. And that's going to leave a depression in the middle of that trap, where the trap is. Around the outside, it's going to be a little bit higher than what the pan is. So when I'm done, there's going to be a small depression in the ground, just a small one, not very much, just a subtle depression when I'm done. And repack that again, so everything around that's tight. So now that dirt is level with the pan. It's the same height as the pan. And on the outside, it's like a bowl. It's comes up on a slight angle, so the pan is lower than what the ground is. And I make my own pan covers out of window screen, and I'll put a handful and a half or so over top of the dry dirt over top of the pan, smoothing everything out. Makes it look a lot better. And right there, I'm digging down to the pan itself, repacking that. Like I say, the only thing that's soft right now is right over top of that pan. Sift a little teeny bit of dirt over top just to cover that peat moss. Just a little bit. There. Blend everything in. And right there, I'm going to just go over and get some dry twigs or grass and leaves and spills and that type of stuff off the top of the ground, so I can just blend the set in. And usually what I do to blend it in, I usually look right around the area and see what's on the ground right alongside, and that's the same stuff I'll use to blend it in with. So that's just what I've done. I've just got some old twigs and leaves, and in these kind of sifters you can almost grind that stuff right up right into the bottom of that pan. The sifter itself, it'll grind through there pretty good. So anyway, that's how I reset my traps. I mean, other people do different things, but that's how I do it. It takes me 10 to 15 minutes. And all there is I'll have to do now is pack up the stuff and leave. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned because I'm putting out the rest of the videos for this so far this year season. So a few catches, and catch you guys later. All the best.